Big welcome back to Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit and the Extreme Festival of Racing. It is Investchem Formula 1600 time. Only single-seaters on track this weekend. Fantastic racing formula powered by Ford engines, 5-speed sequential gearbox, which is a new addition this year. And of course, more important than anything else, is the monster prize up for grabs. Next to me, Robert Portman.
Yeah, that is a serious monster prize. I mean, that is so impressive. And a big shout out to Ian Schofield for backing the series and putting that kind of prizes up for the top three. Really is something to race for. But if race 1 was anything to go by, race 2 is going to be absolutely epic. Very keen to see my new hero, who is Cameron O'Connor. Because after what he showed in race number 1, I was so impressed with what he was doing with that car.
There's nothing like a latecomer to the grid
Oh,
either.
there we go. Yeah, just to mix things up a bit.
That looks like, if joining up at the back of the grid, that's Garth de Villiers. He's had a couple of problems this weekend. So,
He's waving his arms.
They should see it. Start delayed again.
No, they're still going.
You see the flag
man. We've got the yellow flag, yeah.
Yeah, they've seen it. Well done, marshals.
No, or have they?
No, they've seen it. They've put the flags out, but they didn't delay the start. So we've got 2 stalled competitors on the start line, and that looks like Alex Gillespie.
It might be. There were 3 cars.
Or Andrew Horn. It's Andrew Horn. It's Andrew Horn and possibly Garth de Villiers, which is very sad. I know I wasn't very happy with the setup of his car in race 1, but I mean, he still did pretty well. We'll have a look and confirm those race numbers as soon as we can for you guys. I do apologize for that. We couldn't quite see the numbers. Rallycross is still alive and well in single-seater racing.
Yeah, there's the red flag. Red flag is out. So obviously to clear those cars that were on the start there, some problems there. So the red flag is out. Not quite sure if the race should have actually started. Car 12, we're being told.
Car number 12 is Garth de Villiers, as I said. And I think the other one is car 31, which is Andrew Horn, as I said. So
you got it spot on.
Yeah, there they are. They're still struggling with Andrew's car. And I see Matt Nash is on the grid, which is his race engineer. So, and Andrew's out the car. So on there, can you see the back wishbone is completely kinked? It's actually broken in at least one place as I'm looking at it here. So we're going to be lining up and waiting because they're going to have to pick that car up and take her off.
Yeah, that's big damage to that car. So you can see the drivers now making their way through. They'll probably line up on the grid or maybe go back into the pits. Like you said, these cars don't like sitting on the grid getting warm because of the alternators. So we're going to have to really think about that. But another red flag here today. It's been 2 interrupted starts here so far today in the Investchem Formula 1600 category. But once they get going, we know the kind of racing they did. And I think one of the happiest men there was Cameron O'Connor, because from pole position, he was way back and he was finding his way through already. So I think he'll be looking at that and thinking, oh, well, I'm getting a second chance here.
Look, he was very lucky in race 1. He was really overdriving it.
Yeah.
He really was. And I must admit, even his mom said, wasn't he taking a few risks?
Was she even watching? Like, my mom wouldn't even watch, so very brave mom to be watching. I was scared for Connor, and I have no, Cameron O'Connor, I have no relation to him, and I was freaking out. So it's brilliant to see all action, though, and that's exactly what we like to see, and that's exactly what we expect from a 15-year-old behind a single-seater car. All action stuff, and he never failed to disappoint.
Well, I am at liberty to say that he is exploring international opportunities. There's nothing confirmed yet, but there is something they are trying to get going for him. And but obviously it all comes down to budget,
money,
and
yep.
That is such a sad thing in South African motorsport. You have these talented, gifted youngsters, and unfortunately, there's to a point, mom, dad, and a couple of young local sponsors can come and help. But then some, it takes its toll. And saying that, a big welcome to Universal Healthcare, to the Investchem Formula 1600 family, and they've come on board with a sponsorship for Cameron this year. So that is why he's sporting brand new colors, the Universal Red Healthcare colors. So great to see them. But yeah, we mentioned that prize earlier. Yeah. I think we should go into it in detail while we were watching the helicopter flying around. First prize, Now, you know racing budgets these days. So first prize from Investchem in Formula 1600 is 200,000 cash.
Jeez.
Plus the road to Indy. It's the Mazda Road to Indy. It is an entry ticket for the 2018 Road Elimination Championships. It is including your airfare.
Jeez.
It's including your accommodation. So all you have to do is race 8. If we have the 9th round, 9 rounds.
Yeah.
So that's 9 weekends.
Yeah, of your life.
Of your life. A little bit of practice here and there.
Yeah.
And you have a very good chance of walking away with that.
Of making all your money back that you've probably spent the year racing, and like you said, a free ticket to a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, that doesn't come around for just anyone.
Yeah, but also, you know, you take it from a motorsport, right? And the contacts, the introductions, the experience.
Exposure, yeah, 100%.
I mean, you can't put a
You
price
can't put
on
a
that.
price on that. You really can't. And that's what makes us, when you told me those prizes, the top 3 prizes, I mean, I haven't heard of prize money like that in any form of South African motorsport, if not in a long time, if ever. So, yeah, it really is hats off to these guys that put on this category, because not only is the racing world class, and like you said, we've got some of the fastest young drivers in South African motorsport taking place here. As you can see, the stricken car there just being forced off the track, so I'm sure we'll be under starters orders anytime soon. But with that kind of incentive, there's no wonder the Cameron O'Connors are driving the way they do. You know, I would also be completely flat out giving 110%, knowing that that is up for grabs.
Well done to our Kyalami marshals, on the ball as always.
Yep.
Everyone going back to their original starting positions. It'll be a full race restart because, well, we didn't even finish half a lap, let alone 1 lap. So we'll go press the reset button and try again. I see that they, as we said, Andrew Horn's car, the wishbone in pieces. So we know that, unfortunately for him, he was driven over by one of his fellow competitors, and that is a hazard of an open wheel formula. There's no protection for the wheels, so if you touch, if you lock, if you nudge, there is going to be damage. It's just a fact of life. I don't see Garth de Villiers' car at the back either, so it looks like he has had a horrendous race weekend. Hopefully it's his worst race weekend of the year, and it's over and done with.
Yeah, let's hope that is. I'm just trying to look further down the field there. Is that Harman van Beek that's lined up in the blue car at the back?
No.
No, that's
No,
not him.
that is Ian Schofield, car
That
number
is
10.
the man behind the series. So there we go. They're just trying to get them all lined up. As one of the marshals takes a tumble there. It's hard work being a Kyalami marshal, working throughout the day. Looks like they've got them all lined up. Like I said, you don't want to keep these cars too long. And once that red flag comes down, are we getting some hands being waved? They're just telling the marshals exactly what we're saying, that you cannot keep these cars too long on the starting grid because they do have issues.
And they're just going to cut out. They're going to get too hot, and they're just going to say...
Yeah, there we go. Shaking heads. Not very happy drivers out on track there, but the marshals are doing everything they can.
Yeah, the driver gesturing there is Harman van Beek, car number 27. There's Ian Schofield moving. They're just trying to sort the order out, it looks like, and behind Ian Schofield now. Okay, that's 110. So that's Brendan Tracy has been moved backwards. Yeah, okay, we'll just wait for the race to start.
Yeah, we'll just wait until they go into turn 1, and then we'll tell you exactly who is who and who is where.
Yeah, and well, like I said, they might get to the point where they're going to ask to race after the next formula at this stage, because these cars are going to be coming. Also remember, there's no such thing as air conditioning in a race car.
No, and those suits are thick, and those helmets are there to protect. So the ventilation is very limited, and out there the track is certainly hot. The conditions are nice. Now there's the 1 minute board.
Yeah.
So we're about to go under starters orders. You'll see that red light go off, and once it goes off, we'll be under racing action here for race number 2.
Keep your eyes on cars and hands in the air and yellow flags, and let's see what happens. We're racing. We are racing race 2 in Investchem Formula 1600. We have liftoff. It is go. So we'll have a look and see. Cameron, Stuart, Alex. Well, it's Alex. No, it's Stuart. Stuart White to the lead. Right behind him, it is Alex Gillespie in the ERP Trucking Components car. Is it going to be Harman van Beek, or is it going to be Andrew Schofield? Andrew, remember, he had a great starting position in the first race, but went further down. It's Harman van Beek and then Nicholas Van Wheelie. that is how they've lined up at the moment.
Now, Cam O'Connor, another terrible start from the front row of the grid. He's way down. I think he's maybe even the second red car there, down in about 6th position. So this is really, we were saying he was all action in race number 1. To come through the field now, he really has to let it all hang out and try and come through the field, because he knows the kind of pace that Stuart White has. Gillespie, a much better start. Didn't get the start that he wanted in race number 1 and was pretty much found in no man's land, but he's right up there now in that podium contention.
Well, it's racing, as you know. We've got 8 laps. They've kept the laps because it was a full restart, but this is going to be an interesting tussle. Van Beek and Gillespie, they're both very clever young men. Van Beek is actually an advocate by profession.
Oh, so you don't want to be passing him
I just thought
in
I'd
any
throw it
funny
out
way,
there.
because you could be getting served a letter after the race.
But watch them, they're very good racers and they know their cars, so they know the width. And with the introduction of those wings and the new look last year, it's made a marked difference to the handling of these cars. They're not as quick to get loose at the back.
Yes.
They've got a lot more control, they're a lot steady, and they're also a little bit faster.
Yeah, I could see it. Certainly by the lap times in race number 1, you could see the stability is a lot better from these cars, not having to fight it quite as much as they were over the past couple of seasons. I think the 5-speed sequential gearbox is also making a huge difference, not only in the lap times, but also the way the guys drive the cars. And at the front at the moment, the man who's adapted the best to the new formula is Stuart White. He's just pulling away from the rest of the field at the moment. It is Gillespie in second, Van Beek in third, Van Wheelie there in fourth, and Cameron O'Connor's got a lot of work to do from the front row of the grid, down in 5th place, and it doesn't look like he's making any inroads just yet. So not 100% happy maybe with that car setup that he's got at the moment, but certainly not the same Cameron O'Connor we saw in race number 1.
You might find, obviously we saw it from the back, we didn't see the incident on the grid from the front. There could have been some sort of contact. I know Cameron was ahead of Andrew, but there could be something there that went wrong with the car and he's having handling issues. With these open-wheeled formulas, excuse me, obviously you don't want to be in the dirty air.
Yeah.
Dirty air is a thing where all the hot air from the car in front of you starts to actually build up in your car and actually slow the performance. You want a cool engine.
Yeah.
Cool engine equals better performance.
Yes.
So it's all fine and well getting closer to the car in front of you, but too close is no good.
Yeah, that's hampering your performance. You can see the guys, they don't really use the slipstream a hell of a lot because of that exact fact that you said there. There's a good dance going on there between Siyabonga, Monkonkwana, Brandon Tracy, Ian Schofield, Alan Mayer, right in the mix there, but just ahead of them, Cameron O'Connor still trying to do everything he can to close in on the leading 4 drivers. Andrew Schofield not too far behind, as is Andrew Rackshaw. So the two Andrews together, they're on track. They come down the hill again. Yeah, they come down the hill in these little cars. It's flat out stuff through there, carry all kinds of corner speed, and you can see that's really where they make up the lap times that they are, close to the bikes, not through the horsepower down the straight, but the amount of corner speed that these cars can carry is just phenomenal.
And they hold the line.
And they hold the line, exactly.
That's the bit you need to emphasize. They
Yeah.
hold the line at speed.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as tapping off. They do, obviously they do, because they need to line up. Cameron O'Connor straight
he's
through.
coming. There's the
We
Cameron
knew he was
O'Connor.
coming,
Yeah.
and he went straight through Nicholas Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie didn't even leave a gap on that corner, but Cameron O'Connor said, well, you know what, there's maybe one there, I think I'll just go for it. And there he is now, straight line with Van Wheelie again, down the main straight. And it should be O'Connor that moves into 3rd place. That is, no, Van Wheelie's closed the door on him. He's not letting him have his own way. And Van Wheelie is driving with a MacGyver-styled accelerator cable after the throttle cable went in the first race at the top of Westbank.
I think that's what we saw, yeah.
So he almost went into the tyres. How he saved it, I'm not sure. But, he did a MacGyver thing with that throttle cable. So I'm hoping for his sake it holds.
Oh, goodness, he's doing a great job at the moment to be right up there, if that is the case. Gillespie, it just shows you how key it is to get a start, because race number 1 was nowhere near the front end of the field. And look at this, comfortably in 2nd place at the moment. Doesn't quite have an answer for this man out front, Stuart White. But Gillespie got the start that he wanted, and you could just see by Cameron O'Connor, who was right up in the mix in race 1, again, not getting the start and now spending the whole race. He's only got 6 laps remaining to try and make the moves to get close to that podium. He'll want to get a podium, knowing that he's got the pace to certainly run and challenge Stuart White out front. He'll not be happy sitting down there in 6th place.
Now, we work on a bonus point system in Investchem Formula 1600, qualifying and fastest lap out of both races. So
Get you a point.
At the moment, Stuart's got that from the first race. So depending on how this goes, Cameron's gone through on Gwen Veely, sorry, Nick. And fantastic little dummy there, but went wide on the following corner, which has given Van Veely an opening to come straight back at him. He's just not tight enough at the moment. He's a bit loose out there. But what it is doing is it's bringing Andrew Schofield along. And Andrew's also just looking for a way around. And Andrew's sometimes a little bit of a cheeky driver. He'll sit and he'll watch and he'll wait. And when he finds the gap, you're not going to stop him. He's just going to move right through.
Yeah, it's Cameron O'Connor just needs to do what his mom told him, settle down, just relax a little bit and make those passes. Got to try and make them stick. It's pointless trying to make all those passes coming from miles back and not making it stick. But I think he's just getting a little bit frustrated. He knows he's got the pace. He can see the leading group of 3 drivers just pulling away now. White is pretty much checked out of this race, but behind him, Gillespie and Van Beek, another brilliant drive from Van Beek. And look at the lap times out of Stuart White out front, a 55 dead. So just proving that the new gearbox ratios there on that car certainly working to his favor.
Well, that young man, remember, he's got experience with them because after last year's international doing the series overseas, he's had some time to get accustomed to the feeling of that box. And I also know he's done a phenomenal amount of pre-season training, not only on the simulator, but also in the gym. That boy is as fit as you can be for motor racing. There's not a gram of fat on his body. He is so focused. He said to me, this is his goal. He wants the prize.
Oh, for that kind of money, I'll also hit the gym and stop eating. I can tell you that right now. So this is still that battle going on. The 2 red cars, that's Van Veely and, of course, O'Connor, just tied together. O'Connor just cannot find a way past. And it's not like Van Veely's going all kinds of defensive. He's just playing it right at the moment. This is where O'Connor made the move the lap ago. He's going to try and go around the outside this time. Sells him the dummy and shoves it on the inside. How many times have we seen that? And he pulled it off to perfection there. Can he hold the line?
No,
runs a little bit
wide. He's gone wide again.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the traction coming out. Or will he hold it? Or you cannot go too into cheetah. We've seen it today so many times.
No.
That's brave from Van Veely. That really is brave.
This is experience versus youth. You must remember, Van Veely is a past master in this class. I mean, he has been a contender throughout the years. And when I say that, I mean 1, 2, 3
Straight
finishes. He knows his stuff. And also bear in mind that he only got his car at 11 o'clock yesterday.
Sure, so this is really an impressive drive. Oh, here we go. O'Connor once again on the inside. Does he make it stick this time? If I could have 1 rand for every time O'Connor made a pass on Van Veely, I'd be able to come and race in this category. But no, this time O'Connor does hold on it. Now, let's see what kind of pace he's got. He's got a little bit of clean air in front of him to try and close down on Harman van Beek just ahead of him. I think Gillespie and Stuart White are miles ahead. Oh, Stuart White at 54.6. That is incredibly fast from Stuart White out front. He's got a 3.5 second lead now.
Well, you know what? We told you, he's dedicated, he's got the head down, and we are on halfway stage in this race. We're halfway through, so now we're going to start pushing. Now they've sort of got their comfort, they've broken the toes, they need to. Now you start attacking viciously and ferociously. Cameron and Van Veely, I think we're going to see that position change once or twice again. And Andrew Rackshaw's coming through with, and that's Andrew Schofield. So you've got Andy, then you've got Van Veely, then you've got O'Connor. So it's a four-place battle, but 2x2 at the moment. But I think it's going to end up all of them together. Yeah,
you can see what's happening now. Van Veely maybe just trying to tag onto O'Connor, knowing that he's got slightly better pace. Let him drag them up, that whole entire group of 4 drivers that you just spoke about. They certainly are closing down. So far in the race, Van Beek has not been in the same shot, and that lap round he was. So we're going to have a look at the lap times when they come across the line now. But certainly O'Connor is closing down on Van Beek, and he's bringing along that Ford train, which is Andrew Schofield, Van Veely, and Rackshaw along with him.
Well, there we go. As you said it, they've closed right up, and we know he's got the talent, Van Beek. We cannot take that away. I mean, he is phenomenal behind the wheel. But I just think there's going to be a little bit of fitness that comes into play again. And he knows. I mean, I spoke to him after the first race, and he said, don't say anything.
Don't say anything, give me an energy drink.
Yeah, no, just don't. But it's also so nice, you know, that's the one thing about Investchem Formula 1600. All the families are down in the pits. The kids, the moms, the dads, everyone's down there. The wives, it is so important with that support. And you know yourself from motorsport. This is a great tussle. This is Alan Mayer and Ian Schofield. Ian Schofield in the blue and white Investchem colours. Alan Mayer with the red nose cone. And Alan beat Ian in the first race. And I know Ian is far from happy with the performance of his car at the moment. He says he's 3 seconds off his best time ever at Kyalami. And that's at race pace.
That's a lot.
So he's not happy with the setup. But I tell you what, Alan Mayer is ecstatic.
Yeah. Well, Alan Mayer is a brave man. I don't know if I would be wanting to pass the sponsor of the series, and he's done it. Oh, here we go. There we go. O'Connor is now up into third place. He's got ahead of Van Beek, who's coming under threat now from Van Wheelie, coming up to Louis Kopp, trying to go around the outside. So you can see Van Beek just going all kinds of defensive, not letting him through. But it just shows you, look at the pace that O'Connor has now. I don't know if he's got enough pace or laps now to close down on Gillespie, but a couple of laps ago he was asking for 5th and 6th. He's now up into that podium.
Don't say never with him.
Yeah, I suppose.
Just don't. Just
never,
anticipate.
and consistency. You cannot. What is that?
Van Wheelie's going to go around he's trying to go around the outside of Van Beek. That is ballsy.
Yeah. Okay. Or you could say it like that. That's another word you could use.
Yeah.
But I was saying comfortable is another word that you cannot use in this category because there is no such thing. Van Beek looks like he's fighting back just a little bit, closing down in the final section. Yeah, gets it a little bit sideways going into the final turn. That might hamper his drive coming onto the front straight. Van Wheelie going to try and climb it. Oh, Van Beek must be looking in his rearview mirror and thinking, oh, for 2 laps to go, where have all you guys come from?
Did you see how close they were? Did you see how close they were? Van Wheelie was almost parking his nose cone right underneath the gearbox.
And it's paying off now.
Well, there we go. We know he's going to come through, unfortunately for Harmon. I mean, like I said, Van Wheelie is part of the car, basically, the way he drives. And he really is going to push. But Harmon's coming back. Harmon's not letting this sit down. He goes, yeah, okay, you've shown me how to do it. Now watch this move. He's really not going to give up. But watch Schofield right behind Van Beek now. Those two tangle. Schofield's just going to say, thank you very much. And that's the younger Schofield. That's Andy Schofield. What? Well done, Van Wheelie.
Yeah, to hold that around the outside, that was brave because Van Beek certainly had the line going on the inside there. And exactly what you said, while those two have been battling out, Schofield right in the mix now. And he's going to possibly try and line something up going up to the top of the hill. I don't know if he's close enough. Or how can I even say that? Look how close. How close do you like your racing here at Kyalami? Because it doesn't get any closer than this. They're going to come up to the top of the hill now. Van Wheelie, I think, is going to go all kinds of defensive. Yes, he does, forcing Van Beek to the outside. But that just means that Van Beek could maybe get the drive coming down the hill and into the fastest part of the circuit.
You know what? Van Wheelie is being very strategic here. He's holding the racing line to such an extent that Formula 1600 is actually 7 meters wide at the moment.
Somehow.
Van Beek is looking and he is pushing really hard. I will tell you this, if Van Wheelie had to sneeze now, there'd be 6 cars out the race.
That's exactly what would happen because they are literally tied together by the proverbial blanket. You could literally just put those all together right now. It's like almost one massive car out on track. Yeah, we got on the inside there. That looks like it's one of the Andrews. It's Rackshaw that's trying to make a move. Oh, it gets clipped there. Clipped the front nose wing. Now, I'm not quite sure, but that'll certainly affect his downforce and his handling on that car.
Well, not Rackshaw's and Schofield almost touched in race 1. They definitely touched.
There we go.
There goes the whole nose cone of Andrew Rackshaw. He's going to have to speak to his dad because, the wing's still there. It's just the nose. So no, he's right off the pace now. We're on the last lap, folks. This has been 8 laps of absolutely performance racing and precision racing. They really have been really well done to all these guys and girls out there. Really. So, at the moment, we haven't mentioned him, but Stuart White has checked out. And Alex Gillespie has driven superbly to come through, and he got to second place, and there was no way, like a dog with a bone, he was not letting go. It was not going to happen. And then behind them is the dice. O'Connor came through. Oh, hard braking there.
Because Monkonkwana, I think, locking up.
Siabona, that's it with Andrew Rackshaw. But Andrew's got no hold. There's no road holding with that car at the moment. Absolutely none. With the nose cone gone, it's like a big air duct opened up. The whole thing's trying to lift up. It's undrivable.
You could see he's almost, I think we might have even lost him. Yeah, it looks like he's pulled off there, unfortunately. So just shows you how vital that little front cone is to these cars. And here's the man that we spoke about out front. We haven't really spoken about him. Stuart White has just dominated from the word go. Put in those very impressive laps. And like you said, the fitness and the preseason, all that hard work that's gone into it, this is when it pays off. When you pick up a double win at the first race meeting of the year, that is how you want to start your season.
Well, you know what? The points are in the bag, and that's what counts. Hats off to Stuart White and fantastic racing. Mark Lauf, brilliant job, guys. Well done. Well driven, Stuart. Congratulations. Well done to Alex Gillespie, the ER Trucking Components car coming in second place. Great drive from him this race. O'Connor did really well to come back into third. The talented youngster. And what I have to say, the race, the dice and the drivers. Oh, that's Andrew Rackshaw with the kitty litter.
Yeah.
That dice between Van Wheelie and Van Beek was absolutely brilliant.
Oh.
And unfortunately, Andrew Rackshaw's race came to an end in the kitty litter, in the S's.
On the final lap.
On the final lap. Van Beek very happy with his race. He's applauding the marshals and the spectators as he goes, I think like taking your hands off the steering wheel.
Yeah, probably using the last ounce of energy that he has to take his hands off there. So this is going to cause a little bit of a delay as well. We're going to have to get that car loaded up and back into pits. But, oh man, what an opening way to open the season from these Formula Investchem cars. Really, it's brilliant. And what an introduction to the new system, the new 5-speed sequential gearbox. This man has taken to it like a duck to water. Like you said, he's had the experience with it, and it proved here today with a double win. But not going to have it easy. Once the likes of Cameron O'Connor and Andrew Schofield and really get to grips with that new car, it's going to be racing as we know it over the years. And on the last lap, did Stuart White just post the fastest lap time on the last lap?
And that's fastest lap time of the weekend. So we had a delayed start.
That's
we had
what happened.
Incidents and accidents, and coming together with Andrew Horn, and it looks like Van Wheelie almost that came together with Andrew Horn. So we had to have a full restart, red flag, and we tried again. And this time around, O'Connor had a shocking start. He went all the way down to, I think, 6th place. The youngster, the 15-year-old Cameron O'Connor. But the drive of the day was the battle between Van Wheelie and Van Beek. They are Van Beek in the blue Investchem colors, Van Wheelie in the red. This is Class B. There was Ian Schofield and Alan Mayer. That is Cameron O'Connor. Cameron O'Connor overtaking Van Beek. There he is there, the Universal Healthcare colors. At this stage, the Van Wheelie and O'Connor having a little bit of a tussle. Van Wheelie just didn't give Cameron O'Connor an easy ride. He closed the door as much as possible, but O'Connor found a way through. Alan Mayer finishing ahead of Ian Schofield in the results. And there goes Van Wheelie through on Van Beek.
That's the nose cone.
That's the nose cone, yeah. That's where it happened. Andrew coming together, losing the nose cone, and that resulted in him being in the kitty litter, in the S's, and still trying to attack Siyabonga on the closing stages. And the hats off to the driver of the day. Fantastic performance, dedication for the season. Stuart White has made his intentions 100% clear. And from my side, Laren Mew, that wraps up my commentary for the day. A big thanks, Rob, to your assistance on the mic.
That was absolutely awesome. I think if I'm not commentating with you next time, I'll be driving because I want that prize money.
Okay, well, you know what?
Happy wife, happy life.
I don't mean to put this in the wrong way, but you need to work on your width.
No. I would have downforce on the car.
No, you'd have a lot of downforce on the car, but we need to be able to get you in and out the car.
Okay, I need to go. I'll go to Stuart White and I'll ask if I can train and diet with him.
Yeah, no, you might need to do that. You know how to get race fit.
Yeah.
Folks, from my side, a fantastic day at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. If you weren't able to get to us, I trust you've had a ball with the live streaming. It's been absolutely brilliant. So from my side, again, Laren Mew, Rob Portman, we'll be back. Well, Rob and Greg will be back with you shortly.